What's going on, you guys, and welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Thank you for joining us here today. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of my new subscribers. We are just under 30 subscribers. I have almost 1,000 views between my videos, and we're looking at almost 200 watch hours at this point. Anybody that watches these videos, I need you guys to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. I'm not typically going to push this, but today is day 14 for me, and I'm already seeing in the analytics how well this is going. I'm so proud to be able to get the message out there and people to be able to see what it is that we're doing. I know that I'm not perfect. I don't have the perfect lighting like some of these other YouTubers have. I don't have the amazing flashy backgrounds, but I have knowledge. And I have knowledge that I think is valuable for countless people to know. When it comes to my videos, you guys can see how easy it is to repair and service many different types of electronics. Not everything needs to go to e-waste. So again, I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you. We are on the road to monetization. I am aiming high. I want those 500 subscribers. I want the 3,000 watch hours that I need. It's going to happen eventually. Hopefully sooner than later. But I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. Thank you so much. With that being said, we're going to get into the video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a PS3 Slim slide top. Probably not the most preferable PS3, but it works. It plays games. And it's highly nostalgic for me. So we're going to go ahead and get in the video. We're going to see if we can't bring this thing back to life and get this thing up and running. I pray to God that we can. Please keep in mind, I don't do what a lot of the other YouTubers do. I don't sit there and rehearse. I don't edit out my mistakes. I mean, not very often anyways, unless it's like detrimental and it's going to impact the quality of the video. But when I do my intros like this, when I'm doing the video, that is raw material. That is not rehearsed. It's not faked. It's just 100% you're getting me for me. I'm not going to sit here and put on a facade for anybody. So again, I appreciate your viewership. Hope these things go viral. My videos are doing relatively good for somebody who's just starting out. I'm super proud. I'm super happy. I feel like this is not for nothing. We're going to get the word out there. Let's keep on going to the road to monetization, you guys. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so this is the console in question. Is it going to work? Does not have a hard drive. It is filthy. There is dust everywhere. In fact, it looks like it got some hardcore water damage. And if you look down here, you can see that the dust is real. The laser itself looks like it was submerged in water at some point. I don't know what's going on here. Again, okay. So I picked this up from an e-waste convention here in my town, and this was one of the only consoles that I could find. I didn't find any of the stuff that I typically work on, but it's a gaming console. It caught my eye. They wanted $5 for it. I picked it up. Who's not going to risk $5 to bring something like this back to life? Even if it needs a laser replacement, which I highly suspect it's going to need, it's still worth the $5. I have a strong feeling that this thing is going to be worth the $5 that I invested, even if I have to use it for parts. I highly doubted the PS4 in the last video. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. And it worked. So we're going to do our best to do the same thing with this, no matter what it takes. I don't care if this video ends up being an hour long. We are going to do what we need to do to get this thing back up and running and recirculate it back into the community. This will make somebody very happy. And for those that don't know, the PlayStation Network for the PS3 is still online. So you can still buy games for this thing, even though they're pretty overpriced, but you can. And you can still get on the internet with this thing. So why not? We might as well try and see what we can do with it. Honestly, just like the PS4, I might just end up keeping this thing for myself. I'm a hoarder like that. And like I said in my last video, I've been a PC gamer all my life. Not much of a console gamer. But I do have some nostalgic games that I wouldn't mind playing on here that I used to play with my siblings. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get into this thing, we're going to get hooked up, see if it powers on, get it tested, see if it plays a disc, and we will go from there. Okay, so upon further inspection, and I don't know if you can see this on the video, but there is a little piece of wire right here that is jammed into the laser, going from the laser to the inside of the disk drive itself. So I highly doubt that it's going to work in terms of reading a game, but we are going to go ahead and get this thing hooked up, see if it powers on. I already have a hard drive and the USB update for this thing, which I'm going to do off camera to get right into testing and see if this thing turns on. So when I come back to you guys, it's going to be hooked up. It's going to have an 80 gig hard drive, and it's going to be ready for testing. All right, you guys, so we have this old gal hooked up. We're going to go ahead and power it on. We're going to see if it gives anything on the screen. And then we will go from there. If this thing actually works, I will go to any lengths to repair this thing. Alright, so let's go with test number 1. I am not going to attempt to place any discs in here because I know that the disk drive needs help before we actually get into that. We want to make sure that this thing actually powers on and then go from there. And frickin' look at that, you guys. Oh my goodness. No flipping way. Alright, so we are getting a picture on the screen. Let's see if it boots up to the users. A hard disk was not found. Do you want to change the location to your saved data from the hard disk to the flash memory? Which, no, we're not going to want to do that. We are going to leave it exactly how it is. We know it works. What I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to do a USB update off of here if necessary. Sometimes these will go straight from the XMB to the hard drive and just flash everything over. And hopefully that will work. If not, I will do the USB, which I do have, and we will see what happens. Alright, you guys are going to love this. So I did a little something off camera, and this is the result. As you can see, it is now reading the hard drive. I transferred all the profiles from the XMB over to the hard drive, and it registers, which is a huge good sign. So what we're going to have to do from this point is tear this thing apart, get this disk drive figured out, because it is messed up. Get it cleaned out, get some new thermal paste in there, and see if we can't get this thing gaming again. Alright, so we got the old trusty dusty screwdriver. We're going to go ahead and start dismantling this thing and see what we can or cannot find in this old gal. And that's going to be your top panel right there. Very, very dusty. She is disgusting. She is just asking for a makeover. Alright, so next up, we're going to get this disk drive out. We're going to get the power supply out. And, I mean, essentially, we're just going to dismantle the whole thing. It needs it so bad. This thing needs to be pulled apart 100%. All the way. Oh my god. There is dust and particles and crap just falling out all over the place. Alright, so that is the disk drive out. This thing is full of crud and crap. I hope I can dismantle this down to the point where I can actually get that crap out of there. Oh no. So I am seeing rust in here, you guys. Massive water damage. It does not want to move. There is definitely some heavy corrosion going on here, but for now we're just going to place this stuff off to the side and we will come back to it. Alright, so next up is going to be the power supply. Alright, so that is the power supply out. There's all kinds of crap just falling off of here. super dusty, super nasty. I will clean this out to the best of my abilities. But it's not looking too bad on the inside. Seems like it's mainly just exterior. So we're going to go ahead and get these ribbon cables out of here. Set those off to the side. Got another cable here. And then next up is going to be this whole piece right here. This should all come off as one. Okay. Alright, we are going to start doing all the screws that are on the actual board itself. So the amount of dust in here is just unbelievable. This person must have been a smoker or a pet owner or something. We have all kinds of crap just falling out of here. Alright, so motherboard is out. Look at all that crap, you guys. Let me flip this so you can see it. Not only is there dust, but I can see areas like right here where there is water damage. Looks like a lot of the water damage actually seeped out through these vent areas right here and is definitely discolored. So we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side. We'll definitely be giving this a nice good clean. So here's your motherboard. And look at that. That is very unfortunate. There is rust and corrosion going all the way down this whole area right here, all the way down to here and over. So we're going to go ahead and remove all the screws out of here, get the shielding off of here. These screws are rusted in here. I have never had to try so hard in my life to get screws out of one of these PS3s. Alright, moment of truth. We're going to go ahead and get this little shielding off of here. Another thing that I noticed, aside from this, is there's a dead bug right here. It's not a cockroach. I don't know what it is. That is disgusting. This board has some of the worst corrosion that I've ever seen. And it does not want to come out. There it goes. Awesome. Oh dear Lord Jesus. This thing is bad. It's not on the actual inside of the board itself, but the corrosion and rust that I'm seeing right here extends all the way, probably halfway around the board. So we're looking right here as well, and into the USB ports. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. Look at this rust, you guys. Oh, that is terrible. And the bottom of the USB ports is horrendous. So we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side for now. And we're going to take a look at our fan. And oh my goodness. Look at this mid frame, you guys. Starts here, goes all the way around, stops right about here. This thing must have sat out there for a while. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this fan out. See what this fan looks like. So that is the fan shield, and it is nasty. It's the crap that I'm getting on myself as I'm trying to clean this thing. Alright, so we got the fan out. And this thing is also very disgusting. However, spins nice and freely. So we are going to go ahead and set this off to the side. Alright, so we have this thing completely dismantled, and I'm going to go ahead and take my trusty dusty brush and clean off as much of this crap as possible. We are definitely going to apply some new thermal paste. And then we're going to clean the disk drive, get all the obstructions out of there, and see what happens. So I know the rust looks bad, but this isn't going to affect anything for now. When I do put it back together, I'm going to leave it as it is. If this thing actually works, then I will, at a later date, go ahead and remove all of this, if possible, or order a new shield. Same goes for this piece as well. If everything works, if I have the ability to, I will order a new one of these. But for now, just to see if this thing actually works after doing everything, then we will look at a replacement for this. Look at all this crap It's disgusting. Alright, so now we are going to move this obstruction right here. Pretty easy, just came right out. Little piece of wire. I don't know what the heck that could be from. Disk drive definitely moves a lot more freely now. So we're going to go ahead and take some alcohol and clean these lasers off and see if that doesn't help this thing read discs. So when it comes to laser, you want to be extremely gentle. Alright, so that should be good enough for now. And then next up is this disgusting fan. It's literally getting dust all over the place. My keyboard is covered. Everything is covered in just nastiness. Alright, so that is good enough for now. When I come back to you guys, this thing will be completely reassembled and ready for testing. So before reassembly, we are going to go ahead and clean off all this old thermal paste. Alright, so we got that off the APU or the CPU. Next up is going to be the heatsink. It is thick on here. Alright, so there is some slight discoloration here. It looks like I didn't remove it all, but I did. And that's just how it looks. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and apply our thermal paste. That should be good. Alright, so we got this thing completely reassembled. I don't have the bottom screws in, but I have it together enough to test. I put everything back together 100% how it was. A few things that are quite concerning to me that I noticed was the fact that the ribbon cables are very rusted. And there's a high probability that this is not going to work. In fact, I'm almost 90% sure that this is not going to work. However, it is worth showing the wins and the fails. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick a disc in here. And we're going to turn it on and just see what happens. Worst comes to worst, at least we have a smoke show. Oh, shoot. I sure hope you guys can hear that. Oh my God. That sounds absolutely terrible. Well, we'll see if it reads the disc. If it reads the disc, I'm going to go ahead and tear it apart and see what happens. But it is booting in. We do have the hard drive in. And it is not showing up the game. In fact, it's not even spinning. Oh no! Wow. That is a major disappointment. That really sucks. But once I got in here, I saw that there were many, many issues. I did my absolute best. It is what it is. You can't win them all, right? You win some, you lose some, you guys. You can't win them all. I did my best with this thing. I will tear it apart and see what could potentially be causing that issue, but I have never heard a PlayStation sound like that before. So that's another one. Did my best. Please don't be disappointed in me. I hope you all stay safe in the world. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch y'all in the next one.